TSUTigers.com here with volleyball head coach Kathy Roulhac for the second episode of the Coach K Show. Coach, it was a really good day yesterday, getting to see that first win. I know it's always a huge hurdle to get over. Talk about just a couple of things that you saw in the game that were extremely encouraging. Obviously, that second set that just really ran over Alabama A&M.
Yeah, and honestly, we expected to do that from the beginning, and I think the girls may have come out a little bit too relaxed, and so we were not as sharp as we should have been. But the six sticks out the most for me was the fourth set, because we didn't have any attack errors, and that's something that we've been working on over the last couple of weeks, because I really focused and told the girls in the match versus Cincinnati we had 39 unforced errors, and that's enough. I mean, a team doesn't have to earn any more than they only had to earn 37 points to win that match. So we're trying to minimize our unforced errors to get us to the point where we need to be. So that fourth set we had no errors, and we haven't done that in the last 4 years.
Following that theme of the no errors and the attack accuracy, I noticed a ton of attacks, especially from Swayzer and from Naomi, that they were on the left side and they were getting it all the way over to the right side. Talk about like the strategy of hits like that. Obviously, getting around the block is key.
Well, and we want to keep we have a very dynamic offense. I think we want to have one of the most dynamic offenses in the country, and that's because most people are going to go straight at you, and they're just going to tell you if you can defend it, defend it. But we try to move around more. We're a lot smaller than a lot of the teams that we play against, so we try to use our dynamic ability to throw teams off, and I think we do a pretty good job of that. It's just that accuracy thing we've been working on to make sure, with us being so dynamic, we want to make sure we don't, mess it up by having attack errors or any other errors.
Take off the coach's hat for a minute and think from a spectator's point of view. Who really, the most exciting attacker, obviously not putting anybody else down on the team, but who is just the most exciting attacker to watch on this team?
I think Ariana Anderson. She just has that passion when she attacks the ball. She hits the floor. She just makes it so exciting. I have a few, and that is a blessing for the Tennessee State volleyball team this year, but Ariana just makes you look at her. And she's real excited. She had her best game against Alabama A&M last night, and I've been looking for Ariana Anderson to come back, and I felt like she did a good job. But we have some high jumping, putting the ball down, flashy kind of players. So, there are a few people, Taylor Swayzer, Naomi Wells, and Haley Hampton is holding her own in the middle as well. So we have a few people, but if I had to say one that really stands out with her being so passionate and actually showing it, that would be Ariana Anderson.
Absolutely. Speaking of the middle with Haley, I know we've had a couple of injury problems, a lot of players really dealing with stuff going on. The last couple of matches, we've had the same starting rotation going forward. Talking about what you've seen from this particular rotation that's got you thinking, you know what, I can run these girls out here every day.
Well, you know what, we try to switch it up as much as possible. We are a little bit limited in the middle, and we've thought about some different things, but the one that we have right now, I think, is really working. With Haley Hampton and Tanisha Crockett, and waiting, as you say, we've had some injuries, waiting on the injured people to get back to where they need to be, and we're just going to run like a 3-middle offense, which I've been running for years, but I haven't really had the opportunity and the depth that I have right now to switch it up as much as we can. So I'm excited about the future of this program, and what's going to be exciting to everybody else.
Absolutely. Coming into this tournament here in Clemson, we're going to be taking on Clemson. We played them back in 2011, playing William & Mary, played them, I think, once in our program's history, but we're playing Wofford, a team that TSU has never faced before, and I believe that is either the 4th or the 5th team so far in this non-conference schedule. That it's going to be the first time that we played that TSU has played a team like that. How exciting is that, especially from your point of view, getting to see a team that we've never seen?
Well, that's kind of was the strategy for this whole season, was to make sure we play some teams, because honestly, a lot of the teams, I mean, I've been here for 10 years, but a lot of the teams were played before I got here. So we kind of want to start a new tradition and kind of that new era, for lack of how to say that, just kind of the Tennessee State volleyball team that is in here and now. So it's good to start those new relationships. And I look forward to playing Wofford on Friday, and I think that'll be a great first match for us.
Definitely. A big factor, kind of going back to the Alabama A&M game, serving. We had a really good game serving. I really was impressed, especially Ilyanushka. She had 5 aces. I know that Jamie Cooper had a good run going there, and Beltran really sparked a lot of strong scoring runs where we just seem to keep piling on the points. Talk about the importance of serving with our team.
Well, that's been one of our focuses, because I always feel like if you can put good service on there, every one of our rotations have great serving, and I feel like serving is probably the most important phase of the game, because if you can change what another team wants to do, their strength, then you have already defeated that team or earned that next point. So I feel like it's very important to make sure that we are serving tough to every team. So I think we do a very good job of that. That's one of our strategies in how we prepare for a team, and so we just try to do our best to make sure we work on tough serving and basically position serving every day.
One of the things I've been curious seeing from press row, I know Naomi kind of has a little bit of a hop in her serve, but I've seen some other teams that they got people that are just full on jumping with that, and we don't have anybody that really does that. What are some of the advantages, some of the disadvantages of the jump serve like that? I haven't seen too many of our girls been doing that.
Well, it's kind of like the attacking. It's a different dynamic. But I love jump service, but I just want to make sure that we are serving with the right speed. So whether they jump or whether they don't, jump just gives you a different trajectory. The ball's coming at an angle, and when you're floating, it's kind of coming right at you. So either one, very successful. The main thing is to make sure you're serving in the right position at the right speed. So it can be down or it can be a jump. Either one of them can be effective. So we have most of our players can jump. They just don't.
That's all right. And Coach, we're going to wrap up this second episode. We always like to have a fun question here at the end. The other day on the bus down in Huntsville rather, a couple of players from a certain state, and there was a nice little discussion going on. What's your stance on the whole thing?
Well, we had a debate on whose state was the best, and we were in Alabama, and and my whole thing is, guys, it doesn't matter where you come from. It matters more of where you're going to. So I didn't really say that, but I wanted them to get this whole competition thing out the way and just move forward. So all in good competition, I let them go at it, and I feel like if they were able to compete then they were going to be able to compete on the court.
Always seems like it's Texas against everybody.
Always.
All right, Coach. Well, we thank you for this second episode of the Coach K Show, and looking forward to more to come.
Thank you so much, Jeff.